period blood or the clot of blood. What do we eat daily? But first we talk about what is period or menstruation. Menstruation is a woman's monthly normal vaginal bleeding, often called the period. When a baby girl is born, her ovaries contain hundreds of eggs, which stay inactive until puberty begins. There isn't one right age for a girl to get her period, but most girls get their first period at age 10 and 15, but it's different. Every girl's body has its own schedule. FSH hormone causes unmature egg to develop. The maturing follicle produces the hormone called estrogen, which increases over and peaks in about day 12. It causes the lining of the uterus endometrium to become thicker and more enriched with blood vessels. The menstrual blood is partly blood and partly tissue from inside the uterus. It passes out of the body through the vagina. The period comes again every 24 to 38 days. During sexual intercourse, sperm enters the vagina and begins their journey. Sperm swim at a rate of about 1 to 4 millimeters per minute. During ovulation, cervical mucus changes, facilitating sperm passage through the cervix and into the uterus. A pumping motion within the uterus helps propel sperm towards the egg, and cilia creates a sweeping motion to help sperm. The egg releases an enzyme, which assists the sperm in reaching the egg. After the fertilized egg travels down the fallopian tube to the uterus around 6 to 12 days. After fertilization, it undergoes a process called implantation. The embryo's attachment to the uterine lining, known as the endometrium. Once the blastocyst contacts the endometrium, some of its outer layer cells, known as the trophoblast cells, proliferate. Then they lose their cell membranes and merge and act as a single structure, called syncytiotrophoblasts. HCG is often used as a marker for pregnancy detection. Pregnancy tests detect the presence of HCG in urine or blood to confirm pregnancy. HCG also helps establish immune tolerance in the mother's body and modulates the immune response to protect the fetus from being recognized as foreign tissue. Maternal blood circulates inside the placenta that carries the oxygen and other nutrients required for the creation of fetus flesh and other organs. This clotted blood mass plays a vital role in the development of fetus organs and tissues. These spaces fuse together to form a network filled with maternal blood of the damaged endometrium. Finger-like projections, called chorionic villi, begin to extend like the root of the planet and are surrounded by a pool of maternal blood. Maternal blood, or period blood, act as a medium to transfer essential nutrients, and oxygen flows into the intervillous space and diffuses across the placental membranes into the fetal blood. At the same time, waste products like carbon dioxide moves from the fetal blood into the maternal blood for elimination. Also, this process anchors the placenta to the uterine wall, ensuring a stable connection. The umbilical cord is rich in stem cells that have the ability to differentiate into various types of cells, such as bone cells, fat cells, and are responsible for generating the different types of blood cells. The length of the umbilical cord can vary among individuals, averaging around 55 to 60 centimeters. The placenta is fully formed and functional by the end of the first trimester, around 12 weeks of pregnancy. Towards the end of pregnancy, the blood vessels within the placenta become more organized and develop and adequately supports the fetus until delivery. As the delivery approaches, the placenta produces higher levels of hormones, including prostaglandins. Prostaglandins play a role in cervical ripening, which is the softening and thinning of the cervix in preparation for labor. They help prepare the cervix for dilation and facilitate the onset of contractions during labor. The placenta reserves oxygen and nutrient for baby to feed on, to ensure that the baby receives sufficient oxygen and nutrients even during the temporary reduction in blood flow caused by uterine contractions. As the uterus contracts during labor, the placenta begins to detach from the uterine wall. After the baby is delivered, the uterus continues to contract to expel the placenta. These contractions, often called after-birth contractions, help detach the placenta entirely from the uterine wall and push it out through the birth canal. Doctor monitors the process to ensure that the placenta is delivered entirely and that there is no risk of retained placental tissue. which can cause complications if left behind, as you witness the creation of living beings. The blood plays a vital role, and the baby is the byproduct of blood, or created with blood. And blood is unclean, whether it is period blood, or placenta blood, or normal blood, whatever name you give it doesn't matter, and that's the fact. Another source that is required for reproduction is the sperms from a father, and they are unclean as well. And two unclean products doesn't create a clean product. And that is human flesh. We call it muscles, human flesh or animal flesh, both are same. And we ask at the start, are we eating period blood? And answer is, yes, we are eating a byproduct. One more disgusting fact is that people are advocates of eating the placenta, also known as placentophagy. They claim potential benefits due to the presence of various nutrients and hormones in the placenta, such as improved mood, increased energy levels, enhanced milk production, and hormone regulation. Regarding risks of consuming the placenta, but it's important to note that there aren't potential risks associated with consuming the placenta. The placenta may contain bacteria, viruses, or toxins, could increase the risk of contamination and infection. Watch these clips that shows the animal's birth process. Goat fetus inside a womb. Write your thoughts in comments whether you agree or not. Next time you eat meat or any animal, think about it and ask yourself a question: am I eating meat or byproduct of blood and sperms? Like, share, and subscribe Fact Knowledge for more amazing videos.